So here I've set up a nice little scribbly pad so you can see what I'm drawing. The lighting is terrible though, but whatever. Um, we won't be using it too much. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some planning. I'm going to start a timer just to make everything more, intense for myself and get my heart racing so that I know that stuff's important. I'm gonna up the tension. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do everything as quickly as possible. Though, yeah, can't promise anything. I will try and split it up into like 1 hour segments so that if I do spend 15 million hours rather than one giant video, it's going to be a bunch of little ones. Okay, so planning. Okay, so for my game, it's going to be me, some archery dude, standing somewhere on some terrain with other barbarian kind of dudes running at me. So yeah, so the features. Let's get some features happening. So we'll need a player. The player will need to shoot arrows. We'll need to, let's move around because we need to be able to move and aim. Shoot arrows, move, aim. Yep. And then we'll be able to need to be able to die to enemies. Yep, you can't see any of that. Any of it. Oh well, we'll show it bigger later. Okay, then we've got enemies. We'll need to spawn them randomly. That's one thing we want. We want them to run at the player. We want them to be able to die to arrows, so that when we shoot them with an arrow, they die. That's a pretty fancy thing. Maybe if we get time, we can give them some kind of health, meaning that they need sort of multiple arrows to kill. Okay, so dudes spawning randomly, they run at the player, and then as a player you're like, oh, there's dudes coming at me. Move, aim, my bow, and then we shoot arrows. Yeah, that seems to be. Plus we will need some terrain, something to stand on. Not much more than that because it'll just be a stock thing. Yeah, that seems to be pretty much a list of features. If only that. Whatever. Terrain. We want it to be flattish, and we want it to be traversable. Okay, cool. So, recap. As a player, we want to be able to shoot arrows to kill enemies. Enemies should die to the arrows we shoot. We want to be able to move and aim around so that we can actually shoot the arrows in a specific direction. And when the enemies get too close to us, we want to die to them and for them to be able to kill us. Enemies, I kind of want them to be able to spawn randomly. Let's draw a little picture. So let's call that the player. And then enemies will randomly spawn, and then we want them to run at the player. protons and electrons. Run, 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 and then when they get here, they attack. That's basically it on some kind of land. Cool. As I said, very simple game, but yeah, just get some coding, get some shooting going on, getting some enemy logic, some really sophisticated AI where they, just move in a direction. Yeah, it's not gonna be complicated. Not gonna be super crazy. Okay. So, where am I? What am I doing? Let me just ignore all. Be gone, you. Cool. Okay, so let's switch to some Unity development. That document camera. Oh well, it's mostly for my reference anyway. I need to get a better camera for that. Okay, so yeah, I've already started looking at some assets based on what I need. So if we look at the asset store, so from the asset store, I've already looked up just random free terrain pack. It's got some stuff, looks really pretty. It's free, so can't argue with it. That should be nice. What do we have in here? A bunch of scripts which look like they're all about making like the landscape look really pretty, like motion blur and like that particly thing. Anti-aliasing bloom flares, so like lens flares where they make it pretty, and like motion blur and a lot of scripts, none of which we're going to use because we just want purely the terrain, because we don't. Oh, we'll probably just maybe use the scene or whatever. There's a bunch of shaders, more of the prettiness. Yeah, and some effects. That's pretty alright. The textures, which are handy. The skybox textures, that's cool. So we can steal their skybox, which is that. It's got some clouds, got some sun. Make it all moody. Some textures, terrains. We've got some example scenes. Awesome. That takes a lot of work out of it. And then dot asset. It's not an asset package, so I'm not 100% sure what an asset is. Let's look it up. Unity dot asset file. They might be compiled assets so that people can't hack these. Okay, like editor assets and stuff. Okay. We don't care. Okay, yeah, so got that for terrain so people can walk on some stuff. I'll need some player models, which I've already looked up. So I've got here a nice, awesome looking barbarian, he's called a brute, model, and Miximo, sorry. Yeah, Miximo is amazing. It's Adobe, you sign up for an account and then bam, everything's there for free. So that's awesome, and you get the model, you can get all these animations with it. So like at the moment he's catwalking, let's make him do a Kamehameha. Yeah, so he's Kamehameha now, just because. and let's make him pretend to shoot from his gun, no, from his axe. Yeah, so all these, I've already prepared a bunch of stuff, so I've got, where is it? I believe it's here somewhere. No, it's in Git. Archery defense. So I've already created a Unity project and just dumped some assets into it. I haven't actually dumped any of the. I haven't dumped any of the model stuff. And where is that? That's in Drive. Resources, Unity, characters, Mixamo. Because I have been getting confused. Mixamo, we've got some brute, and then I've also grabbed an archer one. So I'll grab them and put them into the asset folder. Let's create a characters. And they're huge, so they're like 30 meg each-ish. Let's extract them. Get rid of those. Make sure that we've got files. Cool. Yeah, and just a bunch of animations to play with at a later date. Okay. So yeah, we've got the brute, and then we've got the archer, who is currently shooting from her bow because she's cool like that. And yeah, the cool thing is, if you look at the ground, she comes with a nice arrow model plus her bow, and yeah, we can play with all of that. So I've grabbed her as well. I don't think I grabbed the shooting animation, so I'm going to be really upset. Though I may not even use the character model because I'm probably just going to drop in a first-person controller. So yeah, I'll probably not even worry about initially any kind of hands or anything, because we'll just get the bow, get the arrow, get that working, and then go from there. It's not hard to drop whatever I do in that regards into a character. Okay, so I've grabbed those. They're all in my assets folder. So they're importing. Okay, so cool. So I'm gonna do up a bit of a plan for implementation. So I've got a features list that I want to implement. Let's go back to here. So, and then plan. So step one will be set up a scene, and that scene will have the terrain, an FPS player, so be able to have a player you can control in first person, and then have one enemy, because once we get one enemy working, we can get more stuff happening. Yes, and then after I set up the scene, we're going to get the enemy to run at the player. So there'll be someone there for us to attack, or someone running at us. And then we're going to get the player, and then we're going to get the shooting of arrows happening, because that'll be the biggest sort of screwing around coding to get those happening. And then after that, a lot of it's just lots of finicky things. So set up scene, make the enemy run at the player, make the player shoot arrows. Then we're going to make arrows kill. So the arrows that I'm shooting will then be able to kill the enemy. And then we want to make the enemy kill us. Cool. So yeah, I think the hardest part will be the shooting of arrows, because I'll have to play around with spawning objects and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the asset store. So we've got a game. What is this? Oh, I've opened. Let's create a new scene. Okay. We'll save this new scene and we'll call it the really imaginative name of scene. Cool, scene.unity. That's my scene. Okay. And so if we go into, let's look at the third-party folder, under terrains, high resolution all the way. Yeah, so here we can see in terrains, we've got a bunch of different terrains. That one's pretty rocky, which could look alright. Basically, I want to be able to plot my character down somewhere, probably on a bit of a mountain, and then just have enemies run at you. Terrain 2. What have we got? That's sort of one big mountain in the middle. It's a bit more sloped. Could put someone there. Ooh, that one's like a sort of mountain stream, but like it's a lot more progressive. That one's progressive as well, but it could be fun. Yeah, I think I like number 4 the best. So, looking at what is involved in 4. Why is my inspector not working? Oh, you're not even looking at what I'm doing. Okay. Awkward. Okay, so yeah, I was just looking through the third-party folder. Yeah, the third-party folder, which I've stuck the realistic terrain asset that I stole. I downloaded for free off the asset store. I stuck in there in terrains as some example scenes. Within this scene, there's a bunch of different things, and the 4th one here I think looks the best for sort of a archery style defense. Wait, was it? Yeah, archery style defensey thing. Okay, so terrain 4, it's got the terrain collider. I could probably create just a prefab of that. Yeah, cool. And then if we go open up my scene, don't save that. And if we come down here, we should be able to just drag that terrain in. Have it, ooh, it's really blue, because the terrain looks really blue because the camera isn't set up. I'm sure this camera here has a bunch of fancy things set up to light it up and make it all look pretty fair, sun directional. And they've probably changed, no, it's white. The camera, oh, they've got the skybox as well. I might prefab that camera as well, just so that I can play with it. Let's play with it. Okay, so if we go back to our scene here, which looks fine, I can probably make it artificially better. Oh, it's got a bluey thing. Let's just give it a white light. What does it look like with the white light? Oh, you couldn't see that. So the color palette. Is there a shader that I'm not seeing? Surely there's a terrain data, material. Terrainy things. shadows, whatever. So we have a terrain, we can play with it later to make it prettier. Now I'm going to get my character controller. So if you go assets, import package, Unity has a really nice, not super advanced, but it's there and it works, character package, which in it contains a whole bunch of stuff. So they've got a controller for a ball for third person, so they've actually got a fully fleshed out character that you can just throw in there and move around in third person. But let's just go with the first person because it's easier to aim and stuff in first person. So what I'm going to do, grab a prefab, rigid body or not rigid body. So the rigid body one, I don't know what the scripts are like. Rigid body first. So there's different scripts, so they'll probably do different things. But the rigid body one means that it will be able to interact with physics in the game. That's what the rigid body does. So let's just go. Actually, FPS control. That has. I guess because a lot of the collidey stuff doesn't work if you don't have a rigid body. I honestly don't know what the difference is, so I'm just going to drop my little man. Oh, let's put him here. Whoa. Okay, so he's there. He lives there now. Get our movie thing on. Pull him out of the dirt. And then let's hit play for the first time. And everything's red because I was playing with stuff. Okay, so I can now move around on this terrain. Want to find a good spot for shooting. So a good vantage point so that I can set it up so that we can attack. Whoa, that's weird. There's some stuff. I wonder whether there's some clipping planes that are overlapped and stuff. Okay, so no, can I get back up there? Let's get back up there. See, what is it? 22 minutes in, and I already have a game that I'm trying to beat. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna call that my default view. So what I'm going to do, press escape to get my mouse cursor back, and then here I'm going to copy the component. Actually, component? Yeah, so I copy the component because when I undo it, all of the movement I did, when I turn the game off, all the movement I did is reset back to what I had it. So then I can come here and paste component values. They'll take me back to that area. My rotation was a bit off, so I'm moving around. There we go. Bam. Nice. I'm gonna go back to this terrain. Go into the. Oh no, it was the light. Directional light. Let's make you white again. There we go. What does the yellow do? Make it a bit yellow. Let's make it a bit yellow. Looks more vibrant. Yeah. And so now when I go back into the game, awesome. Totally want to know. Maybe it's just having to recalculate. Whatever. Hey, I have a sun. Is that my directional light there? No. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I have a controller. Controller. Let us align with view. Whoops. Object. I'll align view to selected. So let's look at. Cool. let's stick let's grab one of our characters, the brute. Currently brute is now cool. So we can see him. Let's rotate him a little bit. Let's move him. Ooh, no, we don't want to reset his things. Let's move his position. And we will make him here. Let's put him outside the earth. Okay. Cool. Let's just for funsies let us create a animation controller so that, because at the moment if we hit play, he's probably just going to stand there doing nothing, like a, yeah, look at him there, doing nothing. But what I want him to do is brute animation controller. So the animation controller controls the way he's animated. At the moment he doesn't have one, so he can't actually do anything. So let's go brute animation controller. Cool. And then if we go to modify that, we can see that there's here we've got nothing. Let us, what are some, oh, I can't even see what these are. Brute. Where are you, brute? Inspector, model, rig, animations. Your hips don't lie. My window ran away. Oh, it minimized. What? Okay, so that's just him standing there crouched. That's him standing up from a crouch. That's him standing there with his axe. Is there an autoplay? Oh, whatever. That's him putting away his gun. His big, sharp, melee gun. Does he have a walk? Walk like a man. Talk like a man. Standing, run forward. That looks good. That's a really awkward looking run forward. But whatever. It's something. So let's bring our animator up here. Yeah, okay. So in the animator here, we can see that currently when the program starts, we hit the entry point, we go through this transition to this. Cool. So currently he will do that, and if we loop it, it's been a while since I've done animations, but I will get there. What is this? Looking run forward. If we go into here, we've got the standing animation. Wow, what did it? Standing run forwards. If we loop it, that means that it will just keep going. And so if we run this now, we should see him running forwards. Yeah. But now we want to, that running forward is good. Where are you at? Pose, additive referencing. Still doing his runny thing. If we go back to the animator, can we get him to stop? Mirror speed, standing run, cycle offset. I swear there's a way. Standing run forward, model, import, rig, copy from another avatar. So this is making it so that the brute, the model for that comes from the other thing, though it's all there, so it doesn't matter. Motion. Additive reference. Sure. Okay, let's go to the internet. Unity animation stand on spot. Scripting root motion. Okay, so if I grab this brutey dude, apply root motion, collie things, right defaults, put OK. I should really have stuck all those animations. Loop time, loop pose, loop pose. Nope. Loop pose and apply. Yep, cool. Loop pose. Of course, because saying do it on the spot isn't a thing. Cool, so now he's running. He's running. Excellent. Okay, so he's running. Now let's come here, add a component, and add our first script. Let's do the script. I'm going to call this, he's called a brute, so we're going to call it brute controller. Brute controller, and I spelled it correctly. Bonus to me. Oh, I'm going to open it. I promise I am not always this. Off camera is way more, on point and, good at things. It's okay. I don't claim to be great at Unity. I claim to have an analytical mind, and I can work through problems, and I can script my way out of a paper bag. If there was a class or a loop called, maybe a function called paper bag that was stuck looping, I could totally break that loop. That's a terrible, terrible analogy. Okay, so you can see here, or maybe you can't. By the way, you probably want to watch this at the highest resolution you can because everything's small, but I'm not being apologetic not apologizing for it because I worked hard to get everything crammed into this one view. No, got the scripting window, got the Unity's main window plus internet there, and on this side I've got the document cam plus all this stuff. Actually, I should probably change the project label from the project section from research and planning to proof of concept implementation. Cool. Okay. Yes, so we've got our brute dude and he runs, but he runs on the spot. So what we want to do is we want to create a thing where he will move towards me at a certain speed. I wonder if actually I'll probably hook that into the animator. Where you at, brute animator? Let's add a trigger first. So we'll make one called kill so that we can kill him. Add another one which is let's make it a float called speed. So that should speed multiplier. So let's make so the speed that he runs out should be directly proportional to the speed function. So if I run this, he should be 0 speed. Cool. And then if I go to the animator, and then I can't use my fancy. Normally in the inspector, if you click on a name of something and then drag it to the side, it'll increment or decrement, but this one's not. So if we 1, he's going at speed 1, and then if we go 2, he's super fast. Okay, cool. So leave that 1, and then kill is a trigger which we haven't assigned yet. Why not do that now? Let's see if we got a. Do we have a die? Die. Idle, jump, melee. Because basically, we want him to run and then either die or attack. So taunt, turn right, walk left, and quip, idle, jump. Jeez. Thank you, IKEA. Oh man, I don't have any. Maybe I can steal one from Erica. So I'm pretty sure I gave her some dying things. Because dying's important. If you can't die, then what use is standing death forward? Standing death backwards. Okay, so what does that look like? Ugh, that looks like a sufficient sufficiently arrow death. So we'll copy that. We'll stick it in the brute. And then we'll rename it just so that we pretend we didn't forget to make it so that the brute can die. Brute at standing death backwards 1. Cool. And so we'll come over here, we'll import it into brute, and then we should get a standing death backward, and that just magically knows what to do. Wicked. Wicked. Okay, so we want that to go in here. Cool, and it's grey because it's not connected to anything, so let's transition from that to that, and then here we'll add a condition so it'll only translate when we kill. And then one thing we want to do is, I think it's in the animation, death backwards. If we click here, we don't want to loop it, and then whatever, additive reference, whatever that is, keyframe reduction, and then there was a thing, I think, whatever, so we can get to see him run. He's currently running at a speed of 0, which is very, very slow. Let's give 0.2. Yeah, really slow. But then we kill him. Oh, he dies. Cool. So we want to make it interruptible. So standing run forwards. Somewhere here we have a root motion, skip events, no curves. So loop pose. Standard death backwards. So there's a way you can do it where it will, maybe it's in the rig, somewhere you can stop at the end of it and then just sort of hold on the end frame. Speed multiplier, and it's reasonably easy to do. Yeah, except when you don't know where the little button is. I haven't done this in a while, so you will have to forgive me. In the transition has exit time. There we go. So I think that's it. So that's him running like a crazy man at a speed of 1, and then if we kill, he dead. Cool. Now we can't kill him anymore because he's already dead. Cool. So that should be the basics of the animation done. Give him a 1, and then just to check so that when he starts, I can immediately kill him. Cool. And he just dead. Cool. So I can kill him. Well, he animates kill. I can't actually hit him with anything yet. I'm doing a really good job at sticking to my plan. So currently set up the scene. We have a dude, we have a player. The enemy has the animation stuff done, which is cool. I'm going to rotate the rigid body down because whoops, wrong one. It was the X. Cool, just so I can look down at him more. And then when we run, we can run at him. Run at him. Woo. Woo. Yeah. Cool. So that's the brute. That's right, we want the brute in our brute controller to run at the player. So rather than me troll my memory, we're going to Google and hopefully find some code in less time than it would take me to actually figure out what methods I need. So Unity move towards, and I want object move towards another, because every problem you have in this ever has already been done, so you can always do it. You can always just find it in here. Cool, open up a bunch of tabs, because one is never enough. Okay, so we have the speed, the update, we transform the position, we get the position of the transform of the enemy, and then we want to move towards. I have a feeling that might not be the best, because can I view, let's word wrap if there is a word wrap. Visual Studio, let us word wrap. Whatever. Okay, and then we'll just give him a speed of 1. Float speed equals 1. Cool, so he is done. Let's see how that looks, if it does anything. So I have a feeling. Woo! He's floating. He's floating towards an arbitrary point. But what we want to do, we want to give him a transform of the target that he's going to try and get. And if we make that public, we can more easily just drag the user to him. And then here we can go transform. What we want to do is target dot position. So that will just makes it so that we're moving the position of the transform of the enemy towards the position of the target, which is me, and then speed will link in with the, or we'll link the animation speed in with the speed later once we have it working properly. Did save it right? Okay, so the target will be this dude, which I'm going to rename player just so that it's easier to understand. So this dude should come right for me. So he's coming at me. If I come over here, he should start. Yep. So he's just beelining straight for me, Mr. Floaty. Cool. And so in update, do I want variable speed? Oh, we'll just do it at start. We can go get component animation. It's the animation I want. Animator. Yeah. Animator dot get. What do I want? I want the controller. Runtime animator. Yeah. Dot. Huh. Community set animator parameter. Cool. Let's see what the docs have to say. Animator. Okay, cool. It should be pretty easy. All I need to do is give it the name of the thing that I want to set and the float. So once I've got the animator, I can go dot set if I can spell, set float, and then the name is speed, and then the float is, let's make it speed. So that's just going to, when we start, set the speed. Actually, let's make it dynamic. Let's make it dynamic. Let's happen every frame rather than just once at the beginning. Speed starts at 1, and then just for funsies, while I'm here, I'm going to go create a function, public void. How do I? Can I just? set a trigger. That's fun. Animator. Trigger. Reset trigger. Can I set trigger? Okay. Public void. Kill. So I can just kill him. I can then just use get component animator dot set trigger and what does it take? It'll probably just take a name. Yep. And the name I want to set is kill. So cool. And just yeah. Okay. Be good. Okay, so our brute controller has some stuff in it. We should be able to see him running at the speed that is set in the thing. So, woohoo. I know he's standing on top of the air, but we'll get there. It's just a matter of setting his Y position to be intersecting with the ground, or even give him physics. Maybe I can give him a velocity so he can come at me. Let's give him, so he's coming at me. Let's try setting his speed. Whoa, negative speed, not good. Slow, getting faster. Now he's super fast. Yeah, okay. Negative speed, go backwards. So that's just moved directly away, so he's going to be going through the ground. Hey, brother. Come at me, bro. I should make him face me as well. Yeah. Again, I can do like vector stuff, but Googling is much quicker. Unity, object, face, another. It'd be like transform dot look at, yeah. I don't want, I know how to do it, I just want to cheat. So I want to steal. Sure. Make him look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Okay. I wonder if he's going to. Yeah. He's running at me. I think I'll need to get set his X and Z rotation to be 0. So transform dot can I set the rotation? Yes. So rotation equals new vector 3 with a bunch of values. Actually, it's probably not. It's Quaternion. Oh, it's Quaternion. Dot 2 Quaternion. Yuck. Quaternion. Needs to be a new Quaternion. New Quaternion dot Quaternion dot set Euler equals. Can I do that? Let me do this. Oh, I can probably just get rid of the middleman. Yeah. saying is obsolete. Use. Dots. Euler angles is a vector 3. Okay, so I can I say then new vector 3. Probably won't let me set. Not a variable. Equals new quaternion okay, let me do it the 2-line way. So quaternion new rotation equals a new quaternion, and then new rotation dot Euler angles is equal to that, and then new rotation equals that. Split it up. Okay, so that should undo everything I did and make him have a 0 rotation for the entire time. And then if that works, then yeah, cool. No matter where I go, his rotation, which can be seen here, is always 0. He's still moving towards me. Cool. But I want to make the y to be equal to what it is now. So I don't care. I want the y to stay rotating towards me, but the x and y, so he's not tilting all over the place. So this will be transform dot rotation dot y, and then that way he should look at me, but not like if I'm standing underneath him, he's not sort of laying down in the air above me. Come on, bro. Is that? Oh, that's in radians. Dots. How is it appreciated? And okay, alright, that's what I had. Okay. Okay, time to go to the API. Quaternion Euler. Okay, so it's a static method. Okay. Equals. So we don't have to use vector 3. We go quaternion dot Euler. Why are you yelling at me? So it's quaternion. Because okay. 2-line way, as I said earlier, because 2-line way is the way that successful. Any success. Now let's try it out. And so we can see that his rotation is still happening very small. Is the transform dot rotation. Because the dot rotation will be a Euler angles dot y. Yeah, so the rotation itself is stored in probably radians. So you need to go to Euler angles to get the degrees angle, which is what I'm playing with. Maybe? Which is what the rotation... it probably will work. He's chasing me. Yeah. Don't chase me. Don't chase me. And then when he gets to me, he'll just sort of exist inside my body. Yeah. Ooh, there's blood on that axe. That's vicious. Yeah, let's run away from him. Cool. And now, just before I hit the break button, let us try and make him stand on the ground. So, how are we going to do that? So, every time we move him, I'm going to raycast towards the ground and then move him to the raycast hit point. But I'm going to see if someone else has existing code, because that makes life so much simpler. Okay, Unity, make character stand on ground. What do we have? Yep, he's raycasting. Mesh collider. Cast the ray. Cool. That looks like what we need. So let's see. Ooh, 3 funsies. Okay, so layer, he wants the terrain to be on a layer called terrain. Add layer. Let's say terrain. And then cool. So layer. Cool, and then we're raycasting. Hit info. See. We're on the z-axis. I think I probably will need the y-axis because, yeah, because it's the y direction. Y, and then pause. What is pause? Ah, you can just go. Who needs to set a variable? Let's not waste memory. Friend from dot position, unless it doesn't like us setting Z directly. Okay. Sure, you can have your win. You can have your win, Mr. Carter. Why so? Float. Where's that used? It's not anymore. So, okay, so we stole that dude's stuff, which is just all raycast, which is probably copy pasted from the API documentation anyway, which is where most of the stuff comes from. API. If you have a piece of software and your API is amazing, you're going to have so many people just coming in, lapping up your software, assuming it's, you know, decently implemented as well. Like, if you can make everything super clear on how it works, it's just amazing. Okay, So that should work. Set up the raycast. Make sure we only raycast into terrain so that if he's standing on my head, he doesn't just stay standing on my head. And then do the raycast. If we hit something, then we set our Y position to be equal to what we hit, and hopefully that will keep him on the ground and not in the ground. Yeah. Hey man, you chasing me, huh? You chasing me? Cool. Now I have a man, and let's go kill him quickly. Kill. I know we didn't get to see it, but ooh, he's still moving towards me. That's fun. Okay, so we're gonna have to have a check. Actually, so the speed with the speed. So all of this stuff, in fact, all of this stuff, will only need to happen if he's not dead. If he's not dead, do these things. And public transform. No, not transform. What am I doing? Bool. Dead. I should call it is dead according to convention, but it's more funny just having dead. And he's initially not dead. Cool. And so when I hit kill, maybe it won't even kill. So I'm thinking where because right here I could call the animation to kill him. So set the parameter to kill. So if he's not dead, do that. Else, if he is dead, we kill him. But that'll run every update. So maybe I'll put a bool dying equals false. So else if we're not, else if we're dead, and we're dying, we kill. So that's kill, and then we can go dying is equal to true, false, no, true. So true. So when we're not dead, we'll do this. Otherwise, when we are dead and dying, we do this, and okay, so let's start dying to be true. So we're all dying. From the moment we're born, we're dying. So he's constantly dying. So if he's not dead, he does normal stuff. Otherwise, if he's dead, dying is already true. So if he's suddenly becomes dead and he's dying, we do the kill, which sets the animation, and then we set dying to be false, because once you're dead, you're not dying anymore, you're dead. And so that's false. So the next time the update loop goes around, it's like, oh, we're dead, so it won't run that. But then when we come down here, we say, okay, we're dead, but we're no longer dying, so it won't keep running the kill function, because I can, yeah, I don't know what kind of overhead the running that has. Probably not much, but it's just good practice to save CPU cycles where possible, so it will just stop running everything. Everything in here will no longer run, except I put that in the wrong place. That needs to be on the if statement here. Yeah. So I should be able to hit the little let's make it so that we don't get back up and start moving again. Just so that, yeah, if I make dead true, so we make ourselves dead, it'll run that, and then if I turn that off, this would only have checked for the dead variable, but now it's doing dying, so we shouldn't be able to get up and be a zombie. So that would be cool. Maybe future releases, if ever any releases, we'll do that. But okay, so now when we run, I can pretend to be cool. Run. Like, oh, you're coming at me. Coming at me, bro. Well, let's do something really cool. And if I can get over there while still seeing him, let's make him dead. Oh, he died. He died. And he's no longer looking at me. Excellent. Okay. Stop running that. Okay, so I'm going to call this segment done. We managed to set up the scene. Tick. Even though you can't read that. Cool. Let's go over to Dual Cams. Okay, so in my little plan here, so first step was to set up the scene with terrain, first person controller, and an enemy. We did that. I made the enemy run at the player. That's cool. I also set up other animations and stuff, so he can now run at the player and he can die, but he can't kill or be killed yet. So the next step would be to get the player to start shooting some arrows. So in the next segment coming up, yeah, we'll do just that. So see you then.